5 seconds remaining.
There we go.
All right.
All right. Get ready to go. Go on the fourth fan.
OG's turn to ban.
You know, they could take a long time on that ban. Very long time. Soon.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
All right, let's get ready to go live.
Oh, that is Pycat. That is Pycat.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay.
He's been playing with him.
All right, let's go live in 5, 4, 3. Hello, and welcome back, folks. We are back for more action here. Bucharest Minor EU closed qualifiers. We are ready to get on the way with the final series of the first day, and it should be a good one. We have got VEGA Squadron versus OG. OG, of course, making recent roster change, bringing Pycat. Didn't work out too on the major qualifiers, but they're looking pretty good in the minor. And I don't know about you, Alan, but I'm excited to see how this plays out, especially the momentum that VEGA's pulling into from the previous series.
Yeah, especially with both these two teams obviously feeling disappointed with their performances. Major qualifiers, which again was a really stacked region. No shame in finishing third in the groups, but OG, obviously a lot of eyes on them coming into that event with the substitution. Ana once again stepping away from competitive Dota. Just by the way, I didn't get a chance to ask the guys in lobby, so chat, if you guys know, let us know. Busin, I believe this is Pycat's account. There was a tweet about Pycat potentially feeling ill and them potentially playing with a stand-in, but I think he is fine now. Dota buff back on his games. VEGA, though, themselves coming out a little bit of a letdown, having to deal with the drama, potential distraction coming into these minor qualifiers, controversy of them initially not being directly invited, but they were able to pull it together. Kezu absolutely carried them in that tiebreaker game in the last series against Hippomaniacs, and here they are with a chance to establish themselves.
And some respect shown straight away by OG as their first ban is, of course, on that Magnus that Kezu did carry through with. And I do believe this is, I think this is going to be Pycat as well. I'd be surprised if OG managed to get ILTW the tag already.
Yeah. Good call.
So we'll go ahead and call Pycat.
At least in the, that's the thing. I'm going to refer to the players Pycat. I believe that's who it is. Showing up as Pycat in the games early. I think this is potentially a really good addition for them. Pycat played some of the best Dota of his career last season with Optic, and he's a guy that gets a lot of praise for his steadiness. I mean, he's a guy that he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He expects to be playing the best Dota all the time, whether he's behind or whether he's ahead. And he's a very intense guy. And sometimes in a carry player, right? When a carry player kind of criticizes the other players on the team, it can sometimes not go over well. So you have to be, you have to be ready for that back and forth. But when he's in a team environment with a strong captain, with other strong personality players like he was with Optic last year, I think Pycat's a great player.
And OG, they could be a good fit for this. They are quite a chill team. It'll be interesting to see how they take Pycat's inputs into reflection. Well, but in terms of draft,
they're a chill team, but they're a team that is used to incorporating very different dynamics, right? They're a team that's they're veterans. They have a lot of respect around the scene. Seb has a lot of cred. I mean, it's funny because the community will flame Seb, right? But he's had street credit forever within the community of pro players because he's first of all, he's good. He was #1 on the EU leaderboards for a lot of last season. And second of all, for what he did with the coaches, OG.
He's the dream type grinder, right? He's been in it for years. Absolutely. He's never given up, relentless, back and forth from player to coach, and then just winning TI after all these years.
Well, and he's He's a student of the game. You hear people use that phrase, a student of the game, in professional sports as a compliment to young athletes. Seb, it's very unusual that somebody keeps that attitude for how many years of Dota. He always wants to learn something new about the game. He's willing to, talk obscure mechanics, and he's willing to have a back and forth about a lot of things where I think a lot of people would be like, look, I coach a team to how many major wins. I'm right about this. But that's not Seb. He's a very different person behind the scenes than you may think for social. He's just a great kid. Anyway, opening for both teams, very strong, similar roles. This Stroke I still think is just obscenely powerful as a hero, but the rework glitch is very, very good. Frost Shield is a great spell, trading early on, retains its utility throughout the game. And Tusk, you've been pretty high on this hero, talking about the potential of tag team.
Absolutely, there's definitely a lot you can do. The early aggression, getting lanes, it's not bad when it comes to transition in the mid game as well, because of course tag team giving that bonus damage to everyone who attacks it, 25, 50, 75, and then 100 extra damage. So if you get to these early death balls, you look for these early rotations, 3+ heroes, it's not up against that.
Yeah, it took me a while to sort of get a brain around this spell, but it is kind of like a mini cold snap, right? Except a mini stun, it's a 75% slow for half a second, and yeah, 100 damage at max level. And it just goes with this theme of both Lich and Tusk go with this theme of we're trying to take away the boring spells, right? I mean, Frost Sigil was a nice high utility spell, but it felt kind of boring to play. I mean, tag team much more active, incentivizing fights. And it goes with the skirmish style that this hero likes to play in it.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there's just Lich, who I think is boring about that hero. The new one, though. The new one. So different. You've got that active effect of the Frost Armor that's pretty useful for those early kills and can protect later on. And, of course, the gaze. The gaze, much more, shall we say, interesting. I'm not gonna say contributes a lot more, because in fairness, Sacrifice was doing it a lot in terms of denial. But definitely a lot more interesting to watch this Stone Gaze, not Stone Gaze, the Gaze rather than Sacrifice.
Yeah, and look at the Drow Ranger band. OG did pick that in the first game of the last series against Tribe. Ended up losing that particular. We may have been a little bit too quick with it. They beat Helsinki Reds with it earlier today. We may have been a little bit too quick in writing this hero out of the meta.
We have seen some teams experiment with it. Of course, I've seen a combination with Sniper. I believe it was one of them, which was an interesting choice. But this is a point of controversy. Some teams love leaning back into this right now. Other teams struggling to find a way to make anti-mage work.
I am an anti-mage fan. I think you have to pick it in a game where you might go brown boots. I think you have to pick it in a game where you can at least have the option to go this 3 Wraithband Stout straight into Battle Fury. Because the jungle got buffed. Jungle Gold is higher on average. You get more from stats, so your neutral farming efficiency is that much higher. Flash farm in this patch is very, very fast. And that's part of why I think as you see teams sort of put the polish on these farming rotations, that this is going to become an incredibly fast patch. That said, Animage is still Animage. He's still vulnerable for all the same reasons that we've talked about in previous patches.
Of course, the difference here is that when you look at the sort of things he's laying up against with the Lich as well, you can actually get aggressive early on as this anti-mage.
Well, but this is a big problem, right? I think Rubik, it's funny because in the past you would have said, hey, Animage plays fine against Rubik. I think Rubik it creates real problems now for AM, because this Arcane Aura it's flat out broken, extends the duration of all of these debuffs, and all of a sudden that chain stun that is so crucial to being threatening the Animage, there are so many more hero and spell combinations that can execute perfect chain stun against an AM when you have something like Arcane or Arcane Supremacy on the field. That's part of why I think that ability is like so conceptually broken.
And of course, on top of that, Rubik is a hero that is always looking for that cheese ability, whether it's Shikuchi or a Blink. And in this case, Animage, it's not very hard to snatch that Blink away once you have 6.
Exactly. Also got to talk about the fact that Rubik has substantially more flex value. There are a lot of pro players, Miracle being one of them, that wanted to play core Rubik for a very long time. And it looks like with this hero's new skill set, it may not be a thing in very many games, but it's at least situationally viable.
We'll see where OG wants to go now with their draft. They're going to need something that supports this kind of 4 protect 1 mentality that anti-mage is just so accustomed to.
Well, we'll see. I actually think anti-mage is a little bit more versatile in the patch. Now with the active, right? So I think though it's a matter, again, it takes a while for these teams to optimize their farming rotations, to figure out how you can skirmish with this hero and still get something out of it. So all right, the Brewmaster more than likely moves the Tusk over into that 4 position, which probably should have expected anyway. It's a sub special.
Definitely something I was looking at there. I was like, because there's going to be a Tusk core, but of course the Brewmaster should confirm. Then again, you could run the Brew as a 4. These two are actually fairly interchangeable.
We've seen it as a 5 too, right? Remember, I mean, Puppy had been running it as a 5 position here. So that's again another one. The crits on this hero do so much damage now that you can actually get some decent physical damage output out of this hero with little to no farm.
Also, consider the combination. You have a Tusk and a Brewmaster in the same lane. It's 2 melees, but actually once you go like level 2, nice shards, Drunken Brawler, and tag team, you have a lot of kill potential.
Right, and you know, when you talk about the classic 4+1 playbook, you know, look at how VP was able to run to win so many mages last year. I mean, VP is so adept at just turning it into a contest of who can contest the other team's safe lane better. And this Brewmaster and Tusk combo, we pay too much attention to kills in the laning phase and not enough to farm differential. Like, this is a lane combo in the Tusk and the Brew that if they get off to a good start, are capable of preventing an enemy carry from farming.
That's the thing, the aggressive potential. You do see Vega going into that OD, and this is a hero that can farm fairly well with the change to the Arcane Orb with the splash damage now.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've had this in your head for a while, and it took me a while in that Vega game to finally wrap my head around it. But OD is a very different right now, and you know, you're no longer nearly as RNG reliant. You have control over when you're going to activate that equilibrium and get your mana back. And yeah, the splash damage on Arcane Orb means that OD can farm stack camps. It means that he can hold out against mega creeps for 15 minutes, which we saw Vega do. I still need to see a little more from this. It still feels like a hero that can win its lane and just kind of get stuck standing there hitting creeps, that it doesn't necessarily play on the enemy side of the map as well without a good supporting cast around it. But that said, I think the 3 heroes already on board, all 3 of them form credible 2 and 3 hero kill combinations along with the OD.
That's kind of the thing. The difference with OD now is like they've identified how BKB screws him over. He's this very snowball focused hero. So the kind of counter argument when they balance them seem to be, okay, you can't just be snowball all the time. You've got heroes like Slark that are going to get permanent gains out of kills, but OD doesn't. What if we gave him the means to farm in his downtime? And that seems to have been a big focus, is saying, if this hero doesn't get off to a good start, let's give him a means to potentially recover in the game.
Sure. And I think, I mean, OD is never, I don't think OD is ever going to be a flash farmer like an Animage with a Battle Fury, because obviously that equilibrium does have a cooldown, and without that equilibrium, the Arcane Orb's ridiculously expensive on up an orb at max level, but it gives him, at least like you say, an option. You know, he can take a stack camp, he can push a lane, and that makes the hero feel a lot more dynamic.
Let's see how they're going to round this out. They go for the Faceless Void here. Okay, that's one way to approach fights with the anti-mage, but I don't know.
It's a throwback too. I mean, this is Void versus AM, right? How many years have we been talking about this in Pro Dota matches? And this is, you know, unlike the Void combo that we saw earlier today, I think this OD is a much better complementary piece than the Medusa, because OD doesn't need to get nearly the farm before he can play, especially alongside 3 other very active heroes on the enemy side.
The thing I am looking at right now, though, is you have got a lot of targets you have to catch. Of course, the Ice Shards can ruin your Chronos a little bit. Clone coming out from the Brewmaster, BKB is going to be a crucial point in this game for when Void can get it. And that piles pressure on.
I was afraid of that. Okay, so this is going to be a Thompson Arc Warden, and the thing that you see with Thompson on this hero, and that I've seen from very, very few other pro players is he threatens towers hero extremely early. The way he plays lanes, like he will go and start hitting your tower anytime you fall back in your lane, and it just creates so much pressure for OG. OG watching them during TI really taught me more than anything else that tower damage can be almost as significant as tower kills, because you put a lot of pressure on the opposing team to rotate in to protect that tower, to make a play in your lane, and it makes them that much more predictable. It gives you that much more opportunity to anticipate what they're going to do. And Thompson, you know, he was certainly the best mid in the tournament at that.
Yeah, he proved that you can actually give a lot of gold over those Necronomicon creeps, but as long as you're slowly taking down those towers, that's all that matters. The stats were ridiculous, right? There was one game where how many thousands was it he gave over in?
Oh, he fed so much Necronomicon gold in that tournament. But that's the thing. They are happy to feed gold if it means sustained pressure. If it means that you are playing on a smaller area of the map than they are. It really does boil down to that calculus.
And as a result, we have our lineups. We're ready to get underway. Game best of 3 here. You've been having all these best of 2s today. It's time for a decisive victory no matter what the outcomes of the game are, because only one person can be victorious here. The other one will be knocked down to the lower bracket, fighting for their life tomorrow.
Now, it's going to be interesting too, because the other part of the equation, we talked about the renewed OD focus on potentially neutral farming and ability to clear lanes a little bit faster. He didn't, earlier at least, he didn't feel quite as strong in lane to me. We just cast an OD Huskar matchup where the Huskar just dumpstered him. And I'm curious as to whether some of the reworks are going to affect his matchup against the Arc Warden as well.
It's a hard one. Flux means it's very hard for you to actually trade effectively, because immediately you have to walk so close to it. That's the other thing people sometimes forget, is when you start out, Astral Imprisonment's range is very, very low.
Horrible. Right.
Well, I think the perfect example of seeing is things like Shadow Fiend matchup, where people think it's great, but that's a perfect example, right? Like I like to use these very clear examples when you're looking at the mid one-on-ones, because it gives you the full picture. It's like if it was a Shadow Fiend, you're walking by 2 razors, it takes you so long to reach him. It's similar in that Thompson can see you coming, he puts on the Flux, he then puts down a Spark Wraith. You might stick him in the Astral, but you haven't traded effectively.
Right. That's kind of why that cast range nerf on Astral was just such a key change to the OD, right? Now has to, it costs him something to keep you off that range creep with that spell. This is really funny up top.
Yeah, somebody Spark Wraith.
Party on the bounty room.
Does anyone want to come and get this? I didn't think so. Get a Clary as well, so we'll be fine with that.
I mean, they become like Techie's minds at some point, right? Look at this.
Madara.
And he's just going to time walk it off. Ah, well played.
Now, Inkswell running. Forces boosting to level in the blink. Both of them forcing their mobility spells, and that means Runes secure top for VEGA, but Runes also secure bot for the side of OG.
That's how it goes. Nice heady play by Madara to say, all right, fine. Stack up your wraiths.
And they switch it up. They say, okay, we need the anti-mage matched up bottom. They'll have Seb heading towards top.
Well, both blocks pretty good by these 2 mid players.
Look at Jarax. I love this move, actually. He levels in a tag team, and he knows you can get that aggression because of the way the creep waves work now.
Good call.
Well,
they get him off to a pretty nice start here.
It's looking not too bad.
Mage taking some harass here, though. So Waves ends up astraling the creep there.
Yeah, he had no choice. This once again, you have to get so close, and Thompson's gonna move back as soon as he sees you move like that, which means you're aggressing him.
He's really low.
Oh, he is. Oh, he's gonna go down. They get the final touch. Nice move there as they bring 3 heroes down the side of OG, and this is kind of that power I was talking about when you bring a Tusken in a tri-lane scenario. You're not gonna have him hang around, but to begin with, just opening up like that kill.
Also, just very, very efficient for that level 1 frog.
Yes, definitely, and that gives them a decent start, and you need that on the Tusk because this is a hero that, well, pardon the pun, but he does tend to snowball out of control if he comes out of the lanes looking pretty healthy, looking pretty bulky. It's a classic comment.
Go for that.
It's a classic. It's a fair comment though, especially with this new iteration. I think that's the thing that people haven't clocked onto yet. Like you mentioned it yourself with the sigil being removed. That ability was like no one really wanted to level early on. It was maybe it would net you a kill 1 in 100 scenarios, but tag team just does so much early on.
Seb does win the race to level 3. Jerax has been back pulling camps, but a lot of damage. Duck here back. Please.
He does have a salve available as well, so he's kind of winning the regen battle. No, they're just doing damage. They want to force the time walk out. This is a big cooldown level 1. See it, Madara.
That's a lot of damage you got off the tag team.
That's insane. And you know, sometimes there are games where you go greedy, take an orb of venom as well, and it's just absurd. In this type of game, it's not worth it because the void can get away anyway. And on top of that, you need the extra regen anyway. So he will start to have this impact, especially with the Drunken Brawl. You see that the time walk got used. Like if you approach it too hard, the Drunken Brawl comes off cooldown first. The tag team, you can take him down to half HP, and he won't have the time walk.
Yeah. The other nice thing though about the here we go.
They're going in. They're going for maybe next time. That's much easier. Feel the crits, feel the power of it. And now Madara's going to harass back, but he can't be too aggressive. There we go.
Out of position on the squishiest hero in this game from both sides.
And there we go. Tag team comes out, just forcing Madara straight away. And it's I think the most ridiculous part about this spell when you look at it is the mana investment.
Yeah, it's very, very, very manageable. But you know, it's funny too though. This void, the time walk is going to play better in this. Maybe I gave it credit for. You're taking very few damage instances. You're taking few instances of high damage.
Down bot, a lot of damage being taken both sides.
Taking a lot of damage too.
Pycat is just going to dance around a little with Kezu here. We'll move away. Doesn't want to mess with the sandstorm. But so far, I mean, Pycat's doing great. Top of the CS chart.
Yeah, that for an anti-mage in lane, that's going to be.
It will eventually become a sure problem here. I'm looking at what Vega has, and you just think of a Void. He can get active earlier than an anti-mage, but he's limited by this big cooldown of a Chrono. Even if you Chrono onto an anti-mage, the downtime.
But this is the combo, right? I mean, the threat of that anti-mage with Frost Shield on him very early on. It's just a lot of damage that he's getting onto both of those heroes with a very manageable mana investment from the.
Absolutely means that they can.
It just trades really well.
Yeah, it's also the armor, the reduced damage. It's just very hard to compete with that. Meanwhile, competing in the mid lane. Look at this. Already a lead building for Thompson. He has XP advantage as well by a decent amount. And if he hits 6 first, Mage is in trouble.
The XP is the significant thing, right? The CS differential is pretty minor, but yeah, him getting to level, whichever of those heroes gets to level 6 for a problem. Meanwhile, action here on the top lane, Madara uses his time lock offense.
All those high shots.
Isolate the Seb's Brewmaster. That was.
Jerax on point, and Madara has already used time.
What do you expect? I mean, this guy's only been the best touch player in the world for like years at this point.
He's got to be happy one of his heroes is back in the meta potentially. Of course, another one feeling a little bit dead for most people of Spirit. Rest in peace. Yeah. Seb goes down here though, and Jerax in a 2-on-1. I wouldn't advise. And they get the bashes.
Super low mid here though too, and Thompson is just about to hit level 6. We got to be a little careful. All right, Mage's gonna salve up.
He's still.
By the way, Earth Spirit may very well be.
No tail. No tail's got the gaze. He doesn't actually realize this Mage is going in right now. There it is. He can actually drag out the gaze if he wants to. He doesn't even use it. Frost Shield's enough. Thompson stands his ground. Mage will go down.
Radiant's middle tower.
It's an unfortunate turn of events.
He's a hero.
Meanwhile, while that's happening, top, they strike back. They're like, right, you can kill me off, but when I'm back in lane, once again, Rubik always the vulnerable target.
Was No-Tail 0-1-1 going into that?
He was 1-1-1.
Okay, he was going in. All right, that makes a little more. All right, Jerax getting a little bit low.
He'll go down.
And he is using these time walks offensively with absolutely zero hesitation. That's just the kind of player he is.
Absolutely. You can already see where Jerax has put the points.
Really vulnerable here in the mid lane.
Oh no. Yeah, he's surrounded. He's a little bit in trouble. No-Tail can't get that close, but it won't matter. He'll live, and Mage will not as he goes down.
Gives the last hit to his carry. Good boy.
And look at Jerax. He's up to level 4 now. It should be a point in Snowball next. And And now, the level 2 tag team, he can aggress onto anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you... You're a sick roamer right now.
Oh, Seb being a little bit aggressive.
You might be able to get your AM a kill then.
Quite possibly. Kezu is lingering low on HP.
Blink out.
Jarax is he going for a long wraparound? I think he is. He's anticipating Mage coming back to lane. And look at the line being drawn, actually, as Grimstrike says he's around here. They want to counter this gank.
And he needs like 1 creep to 6 here, too. How crazy would it be if they get this kill? All right, he is level 6, so they do at least have to watch out.
Yeah, but this ward spots him. They know where Mage is. Jarax can't get vision, though. That'll force him away, but the rotation's coming in. Kezu's going to be in. No Tail is pretty deep. Things are going to come out. Kezu moving in right now.
This is a good counter attack.
There we go. Bar Strike, Sandstorm, Phantom's Embrace ensures the kill. No Tail, another Snowball coming in. Astral used defensively, trying to move away. Stances out in the Tusk. He needs to get out of it right now. The Chrono. It's big with the Sands. They get rid of Thompson as well. They take out the support. They take out the mid. And the on-point rotation from Madara.
Chad, I'm sorry for your ears, but yeah. That's just Madara Dota in a nutshell. I mean, he's been this player since London Conspiracy upset EG at MLG Austin. I mean, this guy just plays with absolutely no fear.
Pays off here as he does get great value out of the first chrono of the game. And OG, they're going to have to ramp up the pressure because I'm going to be honest, I haven't really felt the impact of this Tusk so far. Good defensive shards where they can, but you look at his score. 0-2-4 has enabled a few, but this isn't... I'm getting out of control and I am feeling strong Tusk going into the mid game.
Yeah. That really stops your momentum right there.
Seb, these bashes.
Oh no, Mage!
Madara's gonna chase through here. No bashes though. Seb will get away, but barely. Actually, is he? They're thinking about going for the Fade Bolt, but Seb will bottle up. Meanwhile, Mage, as you said, getting a little bit close to death as he does escape the grips of Thompson.
Yeah, but and not by much. They know this ward.
Oh, look at the bot. The bot is where the action might occur here.
These lane wards by OG are actually super sick.
Yeah, it sets up. They need this as well. With the Tusk pick, they just need to actually be able to find these targets to stab.
Exactly.
Instead, it's VEGA applying pressure in the top of the creep wave. Seb is here. He has got the split. The backup is on the way. And Thompson will be joining in.
They know Pexu or somebody's setting up here, and they might try and wrap around with No Tail and Thompson smoked up.
Gonna go for it. They find maybe next time. The Gauge drags him in. Thompson summons the double. Trying to do the damage here. Split's gonna come out. TB attempt by maybe next time. He will be able to escape. Cyclone's out into the void. They need to get rid of the Grimstrike right now, but the stun does connect on the No Tail. He's gonna get low on HP. They might be able to chase through. Strike of Fate is good. The snowball there. Madara controlled up. He gets killed. They find the Grimstrike as well. This should set up for the tower push.
That was Inkswell on No Tail, right?
The Inkswell, yeah, it almost killed No Tail.
That spell. Even that's 1 point. Gosh.
Yeah,
it just does. It just feels like it does a lot.
It is a pretty potent spell. You are seeing him actually prioritize the Phantom's Embrace here, which makes sense against this lineup.
Great.
But the good news for them is this lineup aren't really able to push into towers just yet. Thompson, he's still on his way towards that Midas. Then he needs to accelerate forward to maybe the Necro, or he could go for the Midas, for the Maelstrom.
Kezu with the invis. I think they're going to be...
Oh, Mage. They're going in. The damage is big. The Gauge drags him back. He's in trouble. The Phantom's Embrace turnaround. That's one to kill the No Tail. Pexu, though, he might be going down now. The Spark Grave going to come across, chase him through. One more tap, and it'll be there. Thompson gets the double kill. He'll be happy with that outcome. He says, "You die for my causes, El Capitan."
Something going on there between teammates.
Dara just kept on the defensive. He's got the Chrono again, but he's going to need at least one hero, and he will get it. Restrict on his way up.
Easy to lose sight of in all this changes is the fact that OG is actually working on a pretty significant economy advantage. 11 minutes.
Well, we forgot about the man who's remained silent because he's just been farming. High cat on that anti-mage.
And he's not going super greedy. I mean, he did finish his treads before going hard into Battle Fury.
Rubik being happy in this game as he has stolen the blink. We said it would be easy to get his hands on, and actually he's just trying to slow down the anti-mage a bit.
Coming in the mid lane, Mage needs to be a little careful here.
He knows something is up though. He's got to. They just have to surrender the tower, I think, because the tree is broken. You see this vision they have in. There's no easy TP route inside, especially with all these spark graves down. This is the true minefield.
Yeah, look, interesting patience here by Seb. Okay, he's gonna give up when the tower goes down, but he waited in those trees.
He knows how important that tower is to open up the map here. Jarak's just scouting out. They know where Mage is. Kezu.
Trade will be the Dire tier 1 top.
Yeah, they'll get the tower. They actually need to try and capitalize on the Void Ultimate soon. Or
canceling split a couple times just to screw with us, of course.
As he does. Just wants to make sure all our towers are paying attention. He has built the Vlads first. We've been seeing this regularly, especially on the tier 1 teams. It just enables these early pushes, these early Roches. Sustains you a lot in these fights.
VEGA are going to have to get active around them. This is going to start to be. It's a significant economy advantage. It's not.
Speaking of VEGA, they got problems in the bot lane.
Here's the kill they need. This is going to be.
They're going to move it right now in the sandstorm. That's not good though. The Burrow strike through. Warwick punch out, but now starts up and stuck in place. Thompson can't escape with the Tempest double, and Tusk can't either. Double kill for Kezu, as they were trying to find a kill in the bot lane one maybe next time, but here's the blink, and thus they get nothing.
Madara gets the initiation there onto both Thompson and his Tempest double. Identifies the correct one.
Seb split in the mid lane here, trying to go for a kill on a mage alone. Finally, anti-mage is going to TP in, but this is not really the point at which he wants to fight.
Nice response.
Oh, they can't pursue. No-Tail needs to be careful.
Really exploiting that Sandstorm.
He is. You saw No-Tail on a half HP, and he was like, nope, I'm out. He knows the Burrow strike is there. And they don't need Pycat to be involved in his fights. They need Pycat to continue farm. It should be around, I'd say, about a 16-minute Battle Fury at this rate.
Yeah, which again, he chose to be a little bit more on the conservative side. Got those treads first. I think you're going to see more and more AMs. Patch goes on. We're getting action up here. No-Tail's going down very fast.
He's in a little bit of trouble, and he goes pop. Kezu just waited.
Your target does escape. Take the camp, guys.
No, they're going to leave it. All right, anti-Mage will be happy about that once he completes the Battle Fury. They do have the means to take it as well with Mage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, OD got your Midas, man.
Madara? They see him here. They're chasing through. Just use the time wall. It's coming off cooldown. Snowball through. They've got the Warwick punch as well. No, he just times it. Time dilation now. Ice shards are good. Jarak slowed way too much, though.
Oh, and Seb comes in with the haste rune.
So much wasted time.
Can't make the play. Yeah, exactly. That's 3 heroes.
And all the while,
your bottom tier 1 is getting owned.
And you see what Mage has built. He's like, all right, Archon's not the only one can do this. He's built a Midas himself.
No, I understand. Even with the splash of the Arcane Orb, you know, VEGA have to worry about just losing this game on economy as time goes by. And they've really stopped the bleeding quite effectively. That chrono kill in conjunction with the Midas on OD is at least going to give them some breathing room in terms of the rate at which OG is going to be able to farm relative to them.
And of course, getting extra levels means you're going to get more in. You're going to stack that up for the Science Eclipse. And you can't risk Thompson getting a level advantage and not really being hurt at all by these Science Eclipses. That's one of the best ways of actually just getting through the Tempest double quickly.
But just as we say that, talk about OG's farm, though, Thompson going with the fairly aggressive Shadow Blade build here under the Arc Warden.
Yep, straight into the Orchid as well. He knows he has to apply aggression. He knows that Mage doesn't want to have to build into a BKB too quickly either.
Neither does Void.
Very true. Seb waiting in the mid lane. He does have the split. Kezu's nearby, a little bit deep. They put down the sentry. Stun's coming out. Those snowball through it too late. They're in trouble against Lich. Moving forward, Madara has got the split. But where's his target going to be? Cyclone up in the air. The split is being used decently. Mage down to half HP. Kezu standing here, just dances hard. Madara is going to wait on the Chrono though. Can he actually use it? Oh, the Mana Void going down. The Sand Clips and return to side. Then the Chrono. They connect on the 2. They're going to find anti-Mage on the high ground. Tusk is bound well. But no! He's kept alive by the bubble. Will buy a lot of time. Enough for turnaround kills to occur. Thompson on point with these magnetic builds.
What a stud. What a stud. Yeah, that was just absolutely great bubble placement where Void was. There was just nowhere he could go to set up the hits, and they're going to get roached out of it.
They are. It won't take them long either without Vlads and with the damage that Thompson does. Look how quickly it drops.
And first time in Vlads, if you guys haven't already seen some of these matches in minor and major qualifiers, first time in Vlads on these offlaners feels so good in this patch.
It's not just that, it's also, this is the another use of the tag team. You're seeing it right here. That damage, a lot of that is coming from the maxed out tag team.
Yep.
Tusk, a new leaf. It's one big change.
Yeah, and there's no, like at least when you talk about Cold Snap has a cooldown between the procs. There's no cooldown between the tag team procs, is there? You get the bonus damage no matter what.
Yeah, you just keep hitting. That's as much as you can in 5 seconds.
That's actually pretty crazy.
Especially when you consider that there's 2 Arc Wardens attacking at a decent rate.
Right.
Especially even more when you remember Magnetic Field is a thing that gives attack speed. It starts to add up pretty quickly the more you think about it. It's actually really scary.
If you're mage right now, you're like, why is a Rubik farming my jungle? But that is what they do with MNT, just like Secret does with the App Store. They will put some farm on this heroes.
Oh, Opson's just going to Shadow Blade away. They were trying to get aggressive, but they haven't brought detection for him. And look at the rotation come from OG. They want to backstab when they still be able to do so. Barstow gets forced out. Time down. They just snowball in. They're going to work. He carries through Thompson with him now. Walrus punch will get the kill to Kezu. Pexi found as well. The Chain Frost. They just shrug it off. They don't even care. That should be a tier 1 push for the side of OG. Just look at Void. He's really right now. He just wants out.
Bubble placement yet again. No, Void's like, all right, I'm pushing bottom, guys. Peace.
See you later. He's going for a Shadow Blade himself, which means he's going to start to fall behind the Sunny Mage, who has got his Battle Fury, has had it for 2 minutes now.
OG, though, is starting to really take control.
Damage.
It's worrisome. You can already see Animage aggressively position himself in the jungle to farm. Means he's always close by if they need an extra hand in these fights. While speed of hands, the Might is still being used by OD to try and just keep up in terms of gold and XP the side of OG.
Pink's coming out though. They know where he is in this.
He's pretty deep as well.
As Jerax
snowball. Oh no, he cancels it. He realizes it's too late. He can't get out now. They have got the chrono. Can they commit it though? They can't because there's no way to save OD. You actually saw it straight away. He wanted the chrono, but he knew he couldn't actually get OD outside it, which if he did with Science Eclipse, you'd probably get 2+ kills there.
That was just very awkward from the get-go. I mean, OD had gone over and he showed himself on the creep wave, so they knew that Void and OD were over there separated from the other 3 Vegas.
Seb, I got the split last time. They scanned for this as well. Now they need to run. Phantom's Embrace was so old. Phantom's Embrace would have actually silenced him there, and then he would have been in trouble. But luckily, they changed that spell a little bit.
Orchid coming out from the Arc Warden is a huge item right now. That's big time pickoff potential, even onto the big cores. VEGA.
I'm just watching Jerax right now. Like, I love this. Like, I'm gonna harp on about tag team because I don't think people have fully processed what this spell does now. Because it's not just the aggressive use. He's actually walking around with Animage with the tag team on, so he farms camps even quicker.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, 70 mana, right? On a 15-second cooldown. Why not?
And as a result, you can already see that the Animage is keeping up in terms of farm with the Arc Warden. The problem is, these 2 heroes farming this much, one of them going to have to start taking risks soon. Because there's only so much of the map.
The AM and the Arc Warden? I mean,
Seb?
They're able to control the map, so Seb is going to get initiated.
No, he's not. The sun is coming out. Madara! Yeah. He's gone. He wanted the chrono opportunity. They reveal the Orchid, and they get a great impact out of it.
I mean, VEGA are having to go so deep onto the OG side of the map to make these moves. They feel a lot of pressure to disrupt the farm because they know this Arc Warden AM are eventually just gonna beat them on economy.
Seb,
but now with this Thompson build,
mid-swing, Seb gets stunned up by the Inkswell as the Grimstroke TP's away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Snowball coming through. Low on health, Jerax almost dead, but he's still alive. He's escaping. The gaze is there. They're going to turn around. He's still alive. They can't kill him. Finally, the Fade Bolt, but maybe next time, maybe too deep. Power Strike comes out. No Tail's going to get low. But Kezu is seen. Now the Tempest double. There's the silence coming out. And Kezu's in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. Maybe next time.
He's out of his mind. I mean,
he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
Like, it's full glass cannon, but he has the means to protect him. And even if he goes down, he takes 1 or 2 heroes with him. He knows that later on, his anti-mage is going to be ready to fight, and he is going to brutalize the side of Vega.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Thompson happens to be leading the board and farm at the moment, but he knows his AM is right on the cusp of that. A couple more minutes, he's going to be at that 3rd item, which looks now to be a butterfly, and he's going to come to these fights and just be killed.
Oh, Thompson, no! He was so close to TPing out there. The Aegis just expired. He's going to have to stand and fight. Magnetic field down. Maybe next time moves inside and says, all right, let's have this fight. It will end with his death. That was overly greedy.
Little caster curse there.
Hey, we were saying earlier, someone has to play aggressive because these heroes is eventually going to have the whole jungle to himself. A little bit of a misplay there, as he probably shouldn't have been there with the Aegis running out.
Yeah, if anything, the misplay is just overestimating the timing on the Aegis. But again, I have no problem with that for exactly the reason you said. You know that you need to farm on the other side of the map with as fast as this AM is accelerating. There you go. There's your AM active.
Yep, the new active. Quite useful.
I dare you.
And look at this, Madara.
Madara with the Shadow Blade play behind.
It's
a dire sentry war.
Look at the move. Mage says whole team go. They need to find this anti-mage because if they don't slow him down, it's up to 14k right now compared to Void's 9k. Eventually, a chrono isn't going to be enough to kill off the anti-mage.
Vega just getting outmaneuvered around the map by...
They're being juggled. Pops in on the hunt with a Tempest double. Pex already knows something's up though. There you go. That's the kind of aggressive push you want to see, where it's a little bit questionable. They knew they were moved to anti-mage. They just send the Tempest double up to scout and maybe look for a pick-off. Oh, gee, they're just playing this right. They're juggling Vega back and forth across the map.
Yeah, and I just love this active Arc Warden build by Thompson. Fred's Orchid Shadow Blade. It's keying so much of what OG wants to do in this game. And yet they know they get the sentry down. Thompson has to go out. Like Thompson has gotten, Madara has gotten, apart from the one very nice pickup from the Dire Jungle, he hasn't gotten as much out of this Shadow Blade Void build.
No, he's going towards the BKB next. He actually can't fight without it because of that Orchid on the Arc Warden.
Oof.
Pretty harsh scenario, and it's not the wrong move. It's not the wrong move though. You can't try and match
it's
farm.
Absolutely the right move, but.
Oh, moving in. Kezu's been found. Dust Reveal's going to be there. Yules. Just to spell that off. Now they're going to use the split, but blink away by Kezu in time. Burrow Strike to safety. They can't find him in time. Whoops. Well, that's a split on cooldown at least, but the problem is, where's your move now? Now that you've got that on cooldown, you need to look for a chrono opportunity. You look at the move. Look at the lines being drawn. Kezu says, this area, we need to control it.
And it's really scary because as that was going on, OD just got zoned off the wave by the Tempest double. He just got Orchid.
Oh,
he runs.
Madara's in trouble here, actually. The damage, is it going to be enough? The Spark Race as well. It's going to be close. Dragging him in. Astral protects him. Now the Soulbind down. Kezu going pretty deep. There's the use of the ultimate coming out from OD. Madara moving in. He has still got the chrono, but no. He just gets evaporated. It's 3 for 1 so far. But now Ryman snowball in. Jack's looking to get involved right here. Kezu stuns through the turnaround. A lot of damage on Animate. He's looking to assert dominance in this fight, but they do banish him with the Astral. Moving forward, looking to finish off Jack. Seven's back in the fight. Mage trying to TP away. The crits enough. Yes, they are. Mage gets a triple kill, but he goes down. And Animage, that's the important detail here. He's still standing. He's still fighting. And he'll finish off Pexu as well for his own triple kill.
And that could have been a very big fight for Vega. It just, Madara got a little bit too low getting initiated on there in the river. The other 4 heroes of Vega were smoked and coming in from the wraparound in very, very good formation. If Void had lived just a little longer in time to get off a chrono in that fight, that potentially goes very, very differently. But as it goes, as you said, OG getting the better of that trade by the mile, with Animage now having the run of the map.
He has almost enough gold to finish off that Firefly as well, and it's just going to get harder from here on out. After that, you probably see the Abyssal, and then he can actually just solo Void.
Oh my gosh! You want to talk about seeing somebody go down? Watch what happens when you get tag team on somebody with Arc Warden and is double hitting him with Bloodthorn.
Just look at this as well. Madara, he isn't going for that BKB. He's identified it won't be enough because the damage just won't be there in the Chronos.
Exactly. I was wondering about that right as that happened, because you know you see Pycat's going to go butterfly, and you have to be able to kill this AM to have even a prayer in this game.
He's got to fully invest in the damage. It's risky, but it's the only play they have. DD on the anti-mage, by the way, as he walks into the pit. Scan. Kezu, he got baited in. He will make his way out with a Burrow Strike. They weren't expecting him to make that sort of move. And now, good old man in the field. Oh my, look at the speed. It's almost done already. Meanwhile, Snowball going to split as well. They're just distracting them. Aegis gets picked up by the anti-mage and moving through the split, but Dara down to half HP. Will time walk away. Ice shards. Actually just drops Seb from chasing deeper. There's no, calm down.
Madara getting so low so early in these fights. He just doesn't have much tank as a result of this build.
Look at this stab around. This is a classic OG move.
Opposite is just going to crush your whole team.
Oh no, they're channeling the epicenter as well. They're going in, silence stuff. A lot of damage being done. Thompson's fine with this. Kezi will be able to fire strike away down in the base. Look at the Walrus Punch. They get rid of Madara so quickly. Kezi caught here as well. He goes pop to the Mana Void. They're 3 down. Do they have the means back? They've got a buyback on the Void, but he's not one to commit it here. And he doesn't have to because OG, they go a little bit ahead of themselves. Tier 2s are still stand. Can't blame them for getting excited though, because they have full control of this game at this point.
Yeah, again, you know, OG just their entire goal is just to keep Vega inside the radius defined by these 3. Because if they're farming the whole map, they're just, you know, it's do we win now or do we win later? We don't care.
Looking to win now. Going in with Manic Field. We'll speed up the push here. Going to take the tier 3 already. Void up in 10 seconds. You don't want to commit for the buyback now. Too close. The problem is you're definitely going to lose the melee racks here, and they might be able to retreat. Telekinesis Lift is on the anti-mage. What do? Silence coming out, Grimstroke. He's scared. And, well, Pycat can just finish up the mid racks. Banish yourself. Whoops.
Oh, wow.
Counter spell.
There's the outplay.
The fun little spell. About a 50% uptime. Seems reasonable to me.
OG take a set of racks cleanly. There will be no punish on stage, and they can set up and run the same play again here in top lane.
Now trying to move forward. Needs to be careful about that. Silence on the Void scares the crap out of him again. These Tempest doubles are actually scarier than any hero on the side of Vega right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Tempest double is at the point where it can pick you off.
Look at this. They're just pushing out the bot lane. They're trying to make sure other lanes aren't exposed right now because you look at it, there's no other access to the base. The tier 2 is still standing, so OG need to get control of these creep waves.
Pretty good read.
But by the time, they just need to try and weigh out this Aegis. They know they can't fight before that. Anti-Mage will probably take 2 of you down with him just so you can get an Aegis.
And in the same play in reverse, they're going to try and run top here. They're going to try and have Madara intercept. No, OG is...
Uh-oh. They're going in. They can't find Grimstroke. Force stuff will keep him alive as Anti-Mage goes in. He's got the Basher now, and he wants the target. And Seb, he's holding on to this Arcane Room for the split. Just OG refusing to leave.
By OG outside the Radiant.
They know about Void. And Madara should be being told right now.
Huh?
Is he going to hang around? He's seeing if he can. This is a risky play. He knows runes are up, so he's got a little bit of time. He's hoping someone comes here, but this is not the move.
I mean, that's not the pickoff play. You're not taking that AM.
Even if you get him once, you'll lose your life on the second try. Which is just split push, split push, split push.
Yeah, but they don't have nearly the same split push. I dislike that one hero can pick off. And if you're there to push the creep waves, fine. Hit the creep waves and get out.
Instead, it just feels like Void right now is walking around like a headless chicken. He doesn't have a clear target. He needs his team if he wants to get a good chrono. It can't be a solo
It's not easy for him right now, to be fair.
And look at the dust from Jarrett. Just make sure there's no initiation. Moving in silence is going to be there. Snowball through. If they get the pick off and avoid here. Can they get it? No, no. Here's on the wrong side of the tower. Time Warp back just in time. The buybacks come out as both Sand King and Rubik go down in the meantime. Chain Frost thrown out. Morris Punch is there. Void is dead. He needs to buy back into this, but he's not going to. He doesn't have the buyback. He committed to the MKB.
No buyback.
They're going to find Kezu as well. Going to try and run this through. They do get the kill into the Grimstroke. Can they find more? Kezu will escape, but barely. They're in the base. Now, how do you get OG up the high ground?
No, Void's done. He bought out. He bought out.
He did. They're in trouble right now. They identified that perfectly. And Thompson will just zone them into the base of the man-headed field, into the fountain, just so they can make room to push from these tier 4s. OG know they can end the game, but they need to be quick. 20 seconds until the Void is up. They might just sell for 2 tier 4s and back away. The BKB going in. Mage shooting zone as well. Going on no tail. The Gauge just dragging him in, but he's in a little bit of trouble. He should be going down. But the crits from Set will force OD away. In the meantime, Kezu does fall down. Teammates are going to go in looking for more. Can they find it? OD is stuck here. No escape plan. He is just hung and quartered. Void back up, but now he does not have the damage to the OD.
Aegis reclaim, but it doesn't matter.
They don't mind. They're going to go in. The crits. Pexu. One more time to come by the Chrono. No! He catches no one here. Madara! It completely is bluffed, and Gigi comes out. That was their last hope.
Celebratory Chrono?
Yeah, I guess unless... What do you think that's about? I mean, Madara secretly going across the
It's about he had died in like 2... I think he died in like 2 or 3 straight fights with it up, so...
I mean, if you're going to do a celebrating Chrono...
Dire team ban.
Whoops.
What do we really? How many viewers do we have?
So we were on like 17,000, went down to 15,000 with the disconnect reconnect.
OG's turn to ban. Remaining.
Studying Kenjith. Agree with you.
There we go.
Dire team ban.
We'll go on the fourth ban.
OG's
I think they're going
turn
to
to ban.
take it slow. We'll dip it low, then take up slow. Then they'll probably make that thing pop. Go.
10 seconds remaining. Ban.
Minutes to try to switch over, get you on the main channel, get you all nice, sparkly, and ready because it's still on. OG 1 game up in this upper bracket against VEGA, but they've got to get another win to make sure VEGA has to go through the lower bracket and they just swim on through to the next round where they all go up against either TFT or NIP. Actually, no, I think it's been decided. In fact, let me just check the scoreboard. I should have checked that before. That's a perfect opportunity. I believe it was NIP that took it though. And
oh my,
let me just double check this. Yes, NIP 2-0'd the final tribe. So the final tribe weighing down the lower bracket to see who their opponent is going to be between these two teams. And OG, I don't know about you, Alan, they're already looking pretty hot and spicy to just plow through this.
You have to like how they played. In that said, anybody who's played coming up against something new, and sometimes you just get out.
Didn't qualify, and if the majors were bringing out a 75% win rate, to say you can't make it work just as well in the minor qualifiers.
Well, yeah, we've talked about some of the reasons why I think flash farming is already faster, and I expect it to get continually faster still in this patch with the stat item speeds better. And you know, when you're PA and you can just hit your blur and farm the jungle without creeps hitting you, that's efficiency, right?
Opening of acts coming out from OG. They are identifying they need to return the pressure lanes. Of course, if Axe gets a good start, you get a quick blink into play mail. That counts the Phantom Assassin pretty damn well.
Absolutely. And, you know, to say nothing of the absolutely magnificent performances that we got from Seb's Axe at TI. You know, Axe, he had great Enchantress game, and of course the Magnus game and the Clincher.
5 seconds remaining.
This is just a very solid hero. We've seen it in the first phase already 4 times, I believe, today.
Oh, we've seen it quite a few times. I mean, in general, this hero, ever since TI, has been getting increasingly more popular. It went to the 4-5 position for a bit, back to a solid pick for the off lane once more.
I think it still has that flex potential. I think a lot of the tanky offlaners fill that 3-4 flex role, and it's an important part of them being pickable in the first phase of the draft.
All right, we've got to restart the call again. Let's go for that. That was a little.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do.
We always forget, folks. We're consistent.
There we go.
We are powered
Hopefully
by
that
flower
will
power.
fix any issues.
We're just here on the BTS channel, no OBS. We are powered by flower power, and we had a temporary disconnect from No Tails in a flower. But we're back. We do see a Rubik. Hello.
Yeah, OG burning through about a minute and a half of their reserve time, picking that Rubik.
It's a decent pick all around. We've talked a lot about the arcane supremacy, especially on this hero, and its flexibility between core and support.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, the one thing to be aware of, we touched on it in one of the other casts today, the hero is squishy, right? You no longer have the opportunity of snapping on that null field, but the fact that Arcane Supremacy makes Rubik, it increases the number of kill combos that Rubik can be a part of. Well, there's your Lich, so sticking to our guns from the last game.
There's nothing wrong. Stick your head in the sand. The Lich was not the problem. I mean, the Lich did do a decent amount in that early mid game.
Well, I thought that Lich Animage lane was really sick. That looked super good in the beginning, and just having the option of the Animage blinking forward with the Frost Shield on to just put a little bit of threat into that enemy lane. So uncommon that those Animage lane combinations will have that kind of threat.
It definitely made the laning phase very simple for PyCat, and then past that, he was just left to his own device. To do this game for PyCat, is it going to be a similar focus of a 4 protect 1 type lineup that a lot of teams seem to be transitioning towards?
I mean, I think you could easily default back to like a Luna
10 seconds
PyCat mainstay. It's so comfortable. Or he even plays a very, very good safe lane farming around.
Most definitely. You could go from right. That's actually now PyCat Classic. I remember a few years back. We'd see a lot of that. Although, you know, when he played too many games with Sing Sing, you didn't get to see it too much, mainly because Sing Sing wanted that hero. But definitely
Sing Sing had quite a streak on Moran. But again, it's just about with this arcane supremacy from Rubik, it increases the setup for the arrow so much.
OG's turn to ban.
Ban-wise, we are seeing them get rid of the Terrorblade and the Morph Lane. They want to make sure those threats do not come out from the side of OG. It's understandable. They can fight reasonably against the PA, especially if he gets a buffer like the Axe. What does VEGA need? They still need to get themselves an off-laner here. There's nothing so far that could fulfill that role. And so far, the Brewmaster has not been banned out.
Yep, you got the Brewmaster still on the table. Could go right back to the same. You want to talk about what was and was not the problem? I don't think the same problem.
Yeah, you definitely won't get the Magnus, though. That was first phase banned. They already anticipated that would likely come out of case you got the chance. Especially after his performance earlier today, more or less carrying the game.
I'm at this point, again, counters will be discovered and the meta will change as the patch goes on. I am not leaving both Magnus and PA against the team that has certainly not against a team that has second pick, but even as a first,
definitely accelerates the problem that PA presents going into that mid game. OG, they did ban out the Dazzle. Sometimes people feel it's surprising it made it that far. Of course, VEGA was never going to pick it when there's already an Axe on OG's side.
Yeah, it's telling, right? That it's also telling though how highly teams are rating this Dazzle hero. That a team with an Axe would still second phase ban the Dazzle.
Personally enough, OG opening their second phase with the Pugna. This gives them a lot of early tower aggression. Also good against the PA pre-BKB with the Decrepifies. And
they will run this hero. So you want to talk about the flex value of the Axe. They will run this hero in the 3 role as well as the 2. Small chance you could even see Pugna bump back to support if there are enough Netherward vulnerable heroes on the other side.
But you go VEGA. Well, VEGA won't have the final pick. They have sometimes picked their mid at this stage, or they'll leave it until the 4th. You could actually run the PA mid as well. That's another option available to them. It's not too bad because you really need to accelerate towards that level 2 coup de grace as quickly as possible.
Most of the games that I saw in the major qualifiers where PA just absolutely owned, she started off in the middle. You know, that said, obviously against a Pugna, that would be painful.
Definitely taking the time on this. I'm not sure they fully anticipate the Pugna. As you said, it's unlikely they want to lane that up with the PA because it is definitely a Pugna favored lane. We've talked about this before. When you pick this PA, it's bad when you go up against these magical heroes because you're relying on the blur to dodge the physical. Of course, you have no means for that against the magical damage. Apart from selective things.
I'm still one of those hopelessly old-fashioned people that likes the sniper pick against the Pugna. But okay, Spirit Breaker, and okay, how could we not have talked about Darkseer is still on the table as the next pick for VEGA Squadron. That is a hero that Kezu absolutely loves. He was one of the few offlaners that were picking it even last patch when basically everybody and their grandmother thought that hero was garbage. This Bulldoze and Surge combo with Spirit Breaker's charge is just, it's pretty ridiculous.
It's pretty insane. You can also build in something like Tranks. We talked about the add up of movement speed as the game goes on with these small items like Windlace. In conjunction with that Surge, it hurts when you make impact. And there's the Deucer. All right, OG, that will give them a tanky front line. And you was talking about this Pugna maybe just being turned into a support at this rate. They've got flexibility in lanes right now on OG. Any of these heroes could go anywhere.
Absolutely. It just all depends on what the mid matchup ends up looking like. OG perfectly comfortable running that Medusa in the safe lane if the matchups dictate the Pugna mid.
5 seconds.
The VEGA need a response. Deucer she actually farms pretty fast. We've seen the PA Deucer matchup. It's a little bit rough for PA. Of course, the issue is that there it is. There it is. Screw what we were gonna say. Yeah, this is the focus.
You just can't pass that up. Actually, I like this draft by VEGA, honestly. I think it's going to set up a pretty good setup for Chain Frost when you got the Vacuum Spirit Breaker combo coming out. Those three heroes are going to do decently well at making space for the PA. I think they're going to...
10 seconds remaining.
That's super aggressive at them. Like, if you think about this, the Iron Shell plus the Frost Armor onto a Spirit Breaker, that's easy first blood potential. Kunkkaban will come out from OG. They are identifying correctly here because you look at VEGA's lineup so far. We said we have some PA primarily mid, but if you add someone like a Kunkka to the lineup, they do have a hell of a lot of early aggression. You reach 6 and they just go looking for kills constantly.
Yeah, I don't know that Kunkka would have been the pick.
10 seconds.
I mean, that's still that makes it so that PA is
5 seconds remaining.
Really well. I mean, Kunkka obviously can scale into physical, build the Daedalus, and you have no physical damage other than the items.
Yeah, but the magic damage transition against like the Rubik, it's the lockdown, right? Like you can get active pretty early with a Kunkka pick.
It's still easy. I mean, yeah, the PA can build Diffusal, but I would like to have a slightly more reliable Diffusal. I think you pick Piranha.
Piranha, not a bad choice. I wouldn't advise something like a Monkey King just because there's already Pugna there that can burst through you. Piranha, on the other hand, has the escape from the life drain. And Templar Assassin.
Okay.
All right, they did ban out the Huskar as well, but they identified correctly.
That's...
And handle the Deucer reasonably well. Same for the Pugna.
Yeah, it's okay in both of those matchups. The problem is, can't you actually have quite a bit of core flexibility as OG. You could easily just
5 seconds remaining.
That's what I'm thinking.
Destroy the TA. This axe can still be a support.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm looking at right now. I don't think you want any of your current cores up against the TA. You could run it, but the problem is once the TA reaches 6 with the Spirit Breaker as well, there's a lot of kill potential. And there's a Juggernaut pick.
Wow, that is okay.
Alrighty, so it looks like this is going to be the axe support is the question.
Yeah. So they're going to go with the Medusa against TA in the mid lane. This should be interesting.
Cat will be taking that Juggernaut, looking to farm up, and of course, we already know who's going to be playing what on the side of VEGA. Nothing too surprising there. It will be the mid Deucer, and there we go. POS 5 axe. That's the part we were waiting to see. It was most likely though, like Pugna, it only feels good as a support if there's a lot of valid decrypt targets, which in fairness there is in this game, but I still think it needs a little bit of gold to push early on.
So I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think OG has quite the draft advantage in this they do as they did in the last. I like the potential of, PA and TA are both do stuff
5
heroes
seconds
in this Vega
remaining.
lineup, and when you talk about stacking the Frost Shield and the Ion Shell on those heroes, along with an Ion Shelled Spirit Breaker charging in, they're going to be able to take these sort of skirmish type engagements and get around the map. Now, when OG's Death Ball comes online, are they going to be able to sustain through that? Because OG actually does, like the 4 Wraithband Treads Medusa is much better at getting active than people.
No, I agree. We've seen it come into effect. Of course, Vega's Assassino lineup. We talked a lot about Surge on a Spirit Breaker, but actually Surge onto a Templar Assassin. That rundown potential is actually going in the mid game.
Well, and the other thing is, we've seen Mage have some problems in a couple of games earlier today, giving away deaths. And TA is a hero that you just absolutely cannot do it on. It's kind of like the same problem that a Queen of Pain has. That it's like you die twice at the wrong times, and the hero is so momentum dependent that it feels like your game is over.
Oh. Luckily, they have a backup in the PA, but that's not the way you look at this. They're hoping Mage at least draw out this mid lane. And honestly, Dusa versus Templar Assassin, it's a hard lane to die in as a Templar Assassin.
My hands is an honor.
Prepare for
And
battle.
it's a hard lane to die in, but you're going to need to contest tops in here. Because this, again, Medusa in this patch with the rework to the stat items, and she's possibly the hero in the game that benefits most from stats. You can't just sort of passively trade farm in a lane against a Medusa.
And they can also, it's not like you're getting the advantage. Sometimes TAs get that advantage from being able to stack the Ancients and go farm that, but Medusa can go and fall back to that jungle just as quickly and farm just as quickly as a TA.
Exactly.
Scouting out early on to see who's in which lane. Of course, we will see that Garx's Spirit Breaker combo. It can be pretty scary, especially when you're a melee hero on the other side. I mean, you've got that spin, but you're still going to feel the pain coming out.
Yeah, they're even flirting with the idea of having Pexu down here, at least at the beginning.
They could actually get a kill easy. This is the thing we're talking about. You've got the Iron Shell, you can charge in, and then you've got the Frost Armor. Jerax is an easy pick-off in that scenario. They've already surrounded him.
Those 2 spells, and
he knows. He put down this ward pretty early on. And that should give it away, actually. There should be a sentry coming down. It's Jerax.
Oh, Jerax playing with... I love it. Playing with absolutely no fear.
I think that was actually, like, it's smart as well, because you move it around like that, they then won't look for the ward there. The first move he made would make them think there's got to be a ward around here. But when he casually walks that close to a Spirit Breaker, you assume, no, there's definitely not an op down.
Okay, and as we expected, Pexu is going to support top in support of the PA. So we will... Oh, Jerax rotating middle here. Not quite. I was about to say classic 2-1-2. Not quite yet.
No, he just wants to starve out the LECS.
This is a good play. Well, it's just you want to get Medusa off to a good start in the first couple of waves against this Templar Assassin.
Yeah, and you saw the way he moved actually pretty deep with the Fade Bolt to make sure it didn't hit onto the creeps either, so he wasn't shoving the lane too hard. But Pexu's hit. Yeah, this used to be one of the kings of these dual mids, but since the removal of sacrifice, it's not really about the XP grab. Well, he does hit Jerax pretty hard.
Right, and Kezu just being tremendously annoying. And this Juggernaut is going to have to last hit and tank, more importantly, tank creep waves under his own tower. He's going to be able... He hasn't spent a skill point yet, but he's going to have to probably skill healing wards earlier rather than later in this line.
And of course, early on, the Blade Fury cooldown is quite large, so if you get forced to commit to that defensively, you are stuck missing probably a whole creep wave at a time.
Both of the supports a little on the low side in this lane.
They are, but you know, the supports are the only ones that really offer the pick-off potential when you think about it. A little bit of conundrum. There's a charge coming in on Jerax. He's been slowed down. They'll happily dive the tower. Spirit Breaker is pretty tanky. He's coming in. Mage moving across right now.
Level 2, so he's got the bash.
He has, and they'll move in. Fate Bolt's going to be there. Fairy Fire. Can they get the final touch? Mage will use a refraction. He should be able to get it now. 1, and he'll need 2 more now. 2. Jerax just wasting their time. If he denies himself right now, no, it's going to be there. Oh, he doesn't get it. The creeps attack first.
At least he drew off the extra charge.
He does waste a little bit of time away from lane for Mage, and suddenly Thompson is getting that CS lead.
Yeah, and that was really the idea of having the supports mid to begin.
Maybe next time will be the new support here mid, but it's too range for us, buddy. This doesn't end well. If the TP away, Noni can do so. So one of the big benefits of picking the Spirit Breaker is he can just TP back to base and then immediately get back out with the charge.
And that hurts, man. Those Medusa right clicks, even with just only one full Wraith Band completed, they're taking chunks off that Spirit Breaker's life. Maybe next time we can charge back down to lane here in the bottom.
And one on the top.
Kezu's low, though.
Kezu's low, but Jug's nowhere nearby. And I was about to say, top lane, they always have to keep 2 here just because this combo of PA and Lich can do something. Meanwhile, TA in the mid lane gets ran down.
Oh.
That is a kill that should not be happening.
Yeah, I mean, the lone bright spot is I think the kill went to Jerax instead of Hobson. Still, that's absolutely fine. This is kind of a little bit what was our concern with Mage, is that anytime you're giving away a kill as TA, especially with a Medusa,
yeah, you're in trouble.
Huge influence potentially in that lane.
It's also the fact that they tried to start the dual lane, but you saw the impact of these different heroes. The Fade Bolt just makes you the winner in these 2-on-2 engagements because suddenly you can't trade.
Kezu is it's got to be said, having a farming field day down here on bottom, cutting these creep waves.
Basically free lane.
Highcat's Jug has not suffered nearly as much as you might worry about.
Meanwhile, No-Tail suffering the top. Himdara moves in. He'll get the kill. Seb needs to be careful himself. Luckily for him, he does not have the Phantom Strike for another 5 seconds. But yeah, this bot lane is the big focus. Kezu is rushing towards that Helmet Dominant. And meanwhile, the charge with the Surge coming in. On the Thompson here, pushing him even closer to Mage. The Fade Bolt will slow us down a little bit. Out of mana on Thompson. They're going to drag Mage back. Maybe next time, just tanking it all though.
Tanking the tower.
It's going to be fine. They did actually almost get Thompson. He couldn't afford to pursue that with no mana and barely any health.
You know, I actually forgot Jug in the last couple patches. He's gotten a lot. He's gotten a little bit of some mini buffs. He's got a lot more armor. He's at 12 armor right now. So he's been able to tank these. Oh God!
They chase him on the tower. Maybe next time's not there in time. We're so focused on Jug's free farm. It's just the issue of PA's lack of free farm right now. 9 CS.
Yeah, exactly. I've been wondering, like, how is Jug tanking all these creep waves without the having skilled the healing ward yet? He's got a lot. He's got 12 armor right now.
Yes, he's feeling pretty good.
That's the big concern right now. The farm, of course, is the farm differential. Jug and the PA's just have the link.
Hotel being protected, Cremified, charge in, slows him down. Action full regardless. This Mage shows up as well. You know, this is my favorite because you get to see these interesting interactions. I don't know if you've seen any of these in your games, but because it's based on movement speed fully now, say you're, for example, someone like a Venom Monster with Gale, you will have fun successfully just walking away from a Spirit Breaker moving at no movement speed.
Yes.
Good times.
As a Venom player, did I just admit I was a Venom?
You did, and that's on record. I'm pretty sure someone's going to clip it. You know, Reddit drama, all right? Out of all the things they could choose, it'll be the fact that you're a Venom player.
Reddit's going to hate me regardless. That's not going to tip the scales.
Wow, Jug showing some hate for Kezu here. He actually just committed the Omni Slash and failed to get the kill. But at least he can keep farming. That is something in which he is being uncontested.
Just
Moo in the mid lane.
2 of the 3 lanes are really going against Vega.
If Thompson gets bashed once here, I think he's dead. He needs to be very careful. They're going to TP in now. Meanwhile, Lich is going to go down in a different lane. As the aggression continues in the top, No-Tail is getting low here. Madara chasing through, will get the kill. Needs to move away from Seb now. Back to the mid lane, they're still chasing. The bash comes out. Telekinesis left to get Mage away. Maybe next time, turns around the bashes on the Jerax instead. He has got the Fate Bolt. Will reduce the damage, but won't reduce it enough as he does go down. Now they're going on 7 in the top. Light Drain comes out. Madara panic. Needs to move away quicker than this. It's going to be close. He will tick out.
No.
And they're charging forward. Can they get Seb is the question. He's got the Decrepify to protect himself. A weird stun there. Frost armor is out. It's going to turn around. Gets rid of the Lich Petsu. just evaporates to the power of this Pugner.
and that is where you use that voice line. Now, all these kills are great, but the big issue here, TA and PA are not farming. And these are just two heroes that cannot afford to get off to a slow start. I mean, PA, a little bit. TA, absolutely not.
It's not like anyone is stacking in the jungle for you to recover. There's one stack here on the Ancients, but it's not exactly a huge one. Charging the bot.
Kezu and
he's doing
Mike
great.
have been sort of at each other in this bottom lane, but absolutely nothing is coming.
The catapult just to get Juggalo. He's out of range. And there is a scary Mukau coming in right now. Gets the bulldoze off, but Seb's here. Maybe next time needs to escape.
You're going to have a hard time going on the 14 armor Juggernaut with 2 Wraith Bands, but
feels like right now, Rebecca can never get anywhere quick enough. We see him reactively charge many places, but he never gets there in time for a kill. Not though, there will be a kill.
Waiting on it. No tail going down in the top lane here.
Madara needed that desperately because he is the poorest core in the game right now. Of course, the Deuce is suffering a lot as well. And Templar Assassin suffering more. Drag back, the life drain on the charge through. Maybe next time, on time this time. Garax, can they get a bash here? This is the target, but well, the RNG is not there. They'll put down some traps. OG needs to be careful. They will put down sentries. Notel says, nope. I know what they're planning here. There's just a focus, constant focus on making sure TA gets nothing here. Like you said,
yeah,
not a hero that can recover well from a bad start.
And it just feels like they're putting so much into just making sure that TA can get nothing going, down to even like having Rubik deny the range creep. Come on.
Derek's just having a little chuckle as he's able to just sap XP and at the same time do his job in ensuring that Mage cannot do anything. The pressure is definitely on.
Somewhere Waga feels like he's getting punched in the stomach right now and doesn't know why. There's a TA suffering so badly in this game.
Ripples on. Meanwhile, Kezu, well, he is just basically making any old school offlaner happy right now, trying to prove Darkseer can still do things as he's second on net worth and has got the Helmet Dominator build.
But that's the thing, but is he really? Like, has he really done that?
He's going to try now. The Surge going in on the Juggernaut. He has the Omni Slash to work with. Blade Fury comes out. He'll TP away. Where's the bashes though? None! Not a single bash. I don't... Like, do we ever see this Spirit Breaker get bash?
Oh, Mage could get picked off here.
He can indeed. Life Drain coming out. The ticks are just bringing him down pretty fast. The Frost Shield will protect though.
He sees it just in time.
A little bit too close for comfort though. He'll be able to move away, but they are just disrupting his farm again, and he didn't even get to do that Ancient stack. Meanwhile, doing Ancients on the other side, Thompson uninterrupted on no HP. Oh, no, he just gets killed by the creeps. Alrighty. Slight mistake being made by the Deucer. You know what this is? It's usually to have 4 Wraith Bands, so he's used to having a little bit more health.
Pugna trying to make use of an Invis rune here, coming around the backside of the PA is the Juggernaut.
Well, he's not even needed, really. Seb's kill. Nope. Play him ahead here. Madara still suffering, still nowhere to recover. At least your TA is starting to catch up with the net worth, though. Surge in. Centaur's here. Lift back. They've actually caught Kezu pretty deep here. He's trying to be the one initiating. Instead, they turn around on him. The trap won't protect him. The wall goes down. We'll create a few illusions, but they don't care too much. Kezu, like, he was your hope and glory.
You're seeing the damage potential of the wall, but it just goes down with absolutely no follow-up in position.
I mean, that's the other thing as well.
The TA is recovering nice here.
That's the thing, though. The TA is recovering, but your big boon right now is how well Kezu is doing. All of a sudden, he's behind a net worth, and that was his big gank opportunity. He can't do anything with it.
And I'm not convinced that old is doing that much for you right now. I mean, the HOD... Are you really going to get a ton of value out of that item?
Omni Slash in the mid lane. Okay. Juggernaut getting value out of his abilities, and the charge onto him may be too late. The steal's there from Jarax. Nice lift.
Nice lift.
Quick reactions.
Out of the charge.
And he's got the Surge now. They could actually just rush No-Tail into the middle of this if they want to. You can already see it from the movements from VEGA. They back up fully. They're like, nope. That tower is gone. Surge is actually very threatening at this stage in the game, the heroes that OG have.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, let up on the pressure. OG starting to feel the lead that they are building as all three of their cores are topping the net worth chart. And this Dusa is going to get active very soon. Already picking up the Yasha. We've talked about this before.
By OG into dire jungle. Not going to catch anybody. They are going to mount a tower.
Yeah, Sep can poke and broad. But the thing I was going to say is, we talked about this before, is the Deuce are getting active so early. I mean, we're 12.5 minutes in. You've got 3 Wraith Bands. You've got a Yasha. It's not long before you start pushing on these towers as well. Adara.
It's like this Darkseer needs to make...
He does, because I'm looking at Madara, and Madara is still full on recovery. He's going for a diffusal build here. I mean, you need it as well against this Deuce, so someone has to build it. Charge top. Moving forward here. Charax with Surge to get away. And there's a Surge, and maybe next time he says, you can do it. So good, don't live. Charax quick on the response. He steals the bulldoze as well, which means he'll get quickly out of this. Going for the TP. It's going to be close. Yes. Charax makes it on about 10 HP after that final strike. And keep in mind, that was the Never Strike, by the way. It looked like it was cancelled. It wasn't. That was the status resistance, partially.
Give Seb the assist there for him getting away. Clutch decrap. I thought he was putting himself at a little bit of risk there.
He's so far. Look at his movement speed right now with the Tranks. Tranks win lays 440. Charge coming in. Maybe next time with the Surge. Just a cute play. Can you get no tail though? Cool. Actually gets it timed perfectly, the Spirit Breaker here. Gonna drag him back. Now the gaze. They're gonna make no tail turn around. The lift to try and get him away. Got to keep the captain alive. And they'll do it. South there as well. They can look to turn around. Pycat moving forward. He does have the Omni Slash again, but there's a creep wave.
And they're pretty well positioned. Fontaine.
Yeah, VEGA have adapted to the way this mid game is pulling away from them pretty well. And we talked about the recovery of the TA, but it's still the PA that is the big concern. She's the poorest of all the cores, trying to catch up. Scan's going to be there. Jarax, that's pretty deep. He actually got the refraction as well. He's just mocking them at this point. They're charging through. They're actually going to Seb instead. Jarax gets the steal. Onto the bulldoze again. It won't change the outcome as OG lose 2 heroes.
I think Jarax may have baited Seb a little bit there.
Teensy tiny bit. He basically stood there in the middle of them at first. You kind of imagine him just screaming, we can do this. We can do this. I'm not sure what the end game play was there. But these are professional players. They know better than us, Nahas. There was a plan.
Yeah. So, I mean, you talk about TA catching up, and that's true technically, right? She's caught up in farm, but it still doesn't necessarily feel like TA is just going to be able to run around killing people. She still needs that Deso to feel like...
no tail's being killed, though.
Isolate. Okay.
Madara. Talk about the other A. PA. Getting a little kill there.
That's right.
Maybe next time was hold the Never Strike in case it was needed. Oh, charge through. They saw Seb here. He's next to a trap as well. He's going to walk the other way, though. Now, Never Strike pushes him back on top of the trap. Slows on to 2. Nice lift to slow down Mage from getting involved. The Crep fires there. Seb trying to move away. The Urn is on him. Another trap is going to be used, but he's still so far.
Support coming in. Pycat's going to TP right on top of Madara.
He is. Madara needs to get across here, but who do they go after? Jack's getting low. Maybe next time. Doesn't get the denies to the creeps. Instead, he gets killed by Juggernaut, who still has the Omni Slash to work with. Now, Chain Frost going out. Looking to turn around. Spin will come out from the Juggernaut. He'll be able to move away from this. And he doesn't have the mana for Omni Slash anymore, so he has to completely disengage. But Medusa doesn't. Goes in. Vacuum's going to be there. Thompson defends himself. Needs to move away from the TM and be careful because they turn around, surround him all sides. He has no mana. He has no life.
Super aggressive by Thompson on the backside.
They pay a price, and now they'll lose their tier 1.
That's a big deal, right? That gets TA up to level 13. And she is now in this game. I thought they were going to be able to maybe pick off Seb there, and that could have been the kill that TA needed to get started, but instead it happens at the very back end of the fight.
Now the call from No-Tel. I'm hoping here. Can I get through Mage? Spin's going to be there. They got the Omni Slash. They still don't have a chance to use it, but the damage on the Jug is pretty large. Lift back. Lick's been found. Pexu should be left behind. Life Drain and a Blast means Seb gets the kill. They keep their tier 1 up.
Look at this, the diffusal on the PA, recognizing what we've been talking about the Medusa potentially accelerating in this game. It's going to be ready by the time Thompson's back up.
Absolutely, going to go heal up now.
Take a Roche here.
They've been trying to for a long time. There's a charge in. Maybe next time sees everything. Bulldoze. Needs to move away very quick here, though. We slow down with the Battle Hunger. Lift to slow down Mace. There's the Omni Slash going through. Kenzie trying to help kite it. But no, on the side, the call comes out. They'll get killed at TA. They get rid of maybe next time as well. The phase boost forward. Surge out from Kenzie to escape. And that will signal for OG to go back into the pit and finish what they started. The Dagon will help try to get killed on Kezi though. Dara can at least get the Never Ward. Needs to be careful himself though. Space, so Jug can try and do this push, but without the healing ward, he realizes, yeah, efforts are futile.
It's still going to be super slow. I mean, it ends up working out for him.
And they get the kills. They can't complain. Slows down the TA again, allows the Medusa to stay ahead, and the PA in the meantime is feeling very precious.
That TA pulled ahead of the Medusa momentarily. She was the most farmed hero on the map, and has already one of the Mythril Hammers, Lycio and Torter Deso.
Remember, sign match completed on Thompson, heading into that Skadi next, at which stage he should be able to stand in the middle of these fights fairly well. I'm still concerned about how he handles the PA, especially with that diffusal.
That PA with diffusal is going to be able to threaten him. I like that as a compliment. Right, the TA is now caught up enough farm that will threaten the other heroes of OG, and you need something just to put a little bit of fear into Medusa, make her careful with her.
And usually we'd see the Death Slayer pick up, but another reason they can go for this is because the TA is going for Death Slayer himself. Of course, Spirit Breaker, that's an ambitious location to be alone.
Yeah.
Jug going for a defusal as well, by the way.
Gonna be up by the...
I think we're going to look to the timing on Jug getting that defusal. Could be pretty effective here. Kites out the heroes well until they have BKBs on the side of Vega. Although there is always the surge, which so far it feels like OG are going, okay, they're not going to surge on a diffusal target. They just want it on the Spirit Breaker every time.
Yeah, it's just one more catch tool. That's nice. You are maybe a little bit light on hard diffusal. Pugna's one of your, or sorry, hard disable. But Pugna's one of your.
Jarek's being charged there. They decide against it. They'll know they're going to the Roche pit again. But I like the way OG's just kind of pushing and prodding. They know they're probably being charged, so they're trying to just force Vega to respond to things that aren't really happening. Still no trap for Jarek's.
This is a big power spike though, as Vega. If you can get some good position up on the initiate Deso reveal, that could hurt.
They're going to try. They smoke up. Maybe next time charging will cancel it.
Yes.
They could try and sneak into the pit themselves, actually, with the Death Slayer up now.
Counter smoke.
Both of these teams, they want the Roche. You can see the amount of prioritization.
OG has the much better idea of where they are.
They do. And look at the drawn lines. Let's go right around the back. Smoke broken by Seb, leading the way in. Dagger's going to slow him down. Forces him to crep by himself. Charging down to half HP. Never strike. Going to get him low for the finish off Seb, though. Now the gate's coming through. They get rid of him. They just eviscerate him. The Frost Nova's going up. The Chain Frost pops and stands ground in the meantime. It's going to force him away. This Medusa hit too hard in the back foot. They're going to find Mage as he gets separated from his team. He has no escape plan from this. He will go down as the dunk hits onto his head, and that's the entrance with a DD that the Medusa was looking for.
Medusa picks up the DD. I mean, Thompson is doing damage. He zoned out 3 Vega heroes there on the backside of that fight, which is what facilitated them isolating the Mage TA on the Radiant side high ground.
That enables them to go in if they want him. They should be with the DD. They'll have the axe to tank for a bit, and they've still got the healing ward that they can throw down 20 seconds if things look a little bit rough. Kezu could look for a big play with the vacuum.
That's a tough play to make, though.
How would you make it anyway? You need vision in the pit to know exactly when to do this.
Exactly.
Kezu, the charge coming through. It's going to be close. Lift's going to be there, though. Kezu can't do anything. Omni Slash being used well. The call's coming out. Holds Kezu in location. He has no mana left, and he goes down as the Aegis is playing by Thompson. They're chasing forward. Maybe next time. He does use the bulldoze to make sure if he's stunned up or anything, he can keep on running. He's going for no tail. The call isn't time on time, but no bash is there. He's finally coming through. Mage finishes the kill from the high ground, making sure he's nowhere near the Juggernaut. Maybe next time, that is an ambitious TP, but at least you got the kill on the no tail. Jarek's meanwhile. Mage, he just has to hide, especially with the refraction available on the Rubik.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Lead.
Look at Medusa. This is just going to be the part. She is just going to be. If they don't get a kill on her in the next few minutes, she's just going to be gone. Yep. Like her farm distribution is just going to be like 50-60% ahead of any Dire hero.
I agree. And you look at the scenario right now. Barfly queued up next. Correct read, because you're up against a TA, you're up against a PA.
Radiant's middle tower
The only
is
threat
under
you
attack.
have is big fat crits from Phantom Assassin. If you eliminate that, no one can fight you right now.
And it feels like TA is going to fall off pretty quick.
I'm a little bit worried.
Nice window with the Deso reveal, but
I think kind of like the cherry on top was them losing the Aegis to OG. You needed that for that power spike. And look what they're going to run into. Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, okay, Vega now know that they've been seen.
Radiant's middle tower
Yep,
is
with
under
the
attack.
D-Ward.
Spider Sense has to be tangling here.
And they find it though. Pexu might have to tank the gank just so that Madara can get away. He does have the TP on makes his escape.
He's out.
They will at least find Pexu though. He'll make him work for a little bit, but he knows how this story ends.
4-hero smoke for a Lich. You're absolutely fine with that.
Problem is your tier 1's here.
Four's already farming in your jungle.
I think the big problem here is there's a tier 1. They'll easily push in for a tier 2 on the side of OG.
Yeah, this is the thing. You're going to have to answer this. I think they should come.
Yeah, they can even pressure high ground with Medusa plus the Never Blast. Actually, Rubik is going back right now to set up on this tier 1. They didn't want to let it go. Deuce is TPing as well. Thompson is here. Will scare him a little bit, but it's a little bit too late to do anything. They will finish the tower in the meantime. They're rotating heroes. Gates going to come out. They try and jump on. Jarrett's getting low. We'll be able to move away though. Now, maybe next time a lot of trouble. He has no escape from this. He is going to go down. Can they find more? Chasing forward. Juggernaut wants to target the Omni Slash. He won't find it. In the meantime, Jarrett gets finished off by Kezu. 1-for-1 trade. They still lose the tier 1. So, all in all, Vega, they can't complain with the outcome.
Yeah, I have to be pretty satisfied with the last couple of minutes. I thought that was going to go. They've traded almost evenly here in a scenario where it looked like the Aegis advantage was going to be a lot more significant for OG.
They've definitely cauterized the wound. This is kind of the catch. When you see Deuce pick, when you see play like this and the gold leaders built in the Aegis, your only real way to approach this scenario is just to split push and be wherever Deucer isn't. And that's what they're doing right now. Although maybe a little bit too much. As Major's alone down here. It's a 3-on-1. He gets caught out and he gets ran down.
And that's your most farmed hero.
Dying casual like that. An immediate smoke from OG as they want to continue this aggression. Question is, will they find anything? Because Vega, they know to back up already. You actually need to invade the top side of the jungle where Medusa already is. Medusa. Charge. I don't think you can do this though. Yeah. They're just trying to keep vision. They want to know where Deucer is going. No, he's actually come in. He's pinging for this. He wants it. This is a big ask. The TP's back. He needs to run. There's a Skadi as well. I'm not sure he fought this one out. But go for the TP away. It's a good read. He needed to because they were on their way. Meanwhile, they know No Tail is alone now. Madara looking for this opportunity. Dagger jumps in. Cool comes out. But No Tail, he cannot get away.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you run that play as the Spirit Breaker just to split the enemy team up. You have the idea that they're probably smoked somewhere. They're probably setting up to go on you. And if you can get in and get out, it gets you a lot of information.
Uh-oh. Seb, Madara just found him there.
Oh, whoops.
It looks like OG are playing a little bit loose right now, and Vega are capitalizing on it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And look at the line drawn.
OG's still just mega confident.
There was actually a line drawn by maybe next time he wanted to wrap around through the river because they know OG has now invaded their jungle. The problem is it's still the Medusa plus the Juggernaut. And that is actually pretty scary.
I'll take that as tribute.
BKBs are getting ever closer though. EA has got the money together for it. Phantom Assassin, screw that. He wants the Basher.
That's gonna be significant for Vega. They're gonna be able to take a big fight behind this double BKB reveal. If they can get the Medusa off the map.
I mean, yeah, I kind of wish it was a double BKB. It looks like the PA is committed to this Basher, which is risky.
Oh.
Very risky.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Yes, on the Manta,
yes,
so he's
you
tanked
do have
off.
to, I mean, the argument, right, is that you've got Call and Stone Gaze to deal with. Even go double BKB. Still, I think it's still worth it just to get that, try and get that perfect initiation.
Yeah, but
both heroes are going to want BKB eventually.
I mean, he's gone for this Diffusal Manta build, so he's kind of committed in this way. He just wants to spike up the damage. He has got a decent amount of stats. They are setting up a push on the bot here on the side of Vega. They're getting pretty close to the base. Meanwhile, on the top, OG take the tier 2. Question is, who could take high ground quicker if you end up there?
I mean, that is one thing with this TA. Push is there.
Absolutely. One team has the Desolator, and look at that. They force TPs back. Suddenly, the rest of OG have to leave. Or, you know, they could hang around at their own peril. I wouldn't advise it.
Both teams tightening up a little bit here, which I can't argue with. This is the point in these games, again, because of the way that tower armor was changed. The physical damage is rapidly ramping up, coming out from all of the cores. And towers feel very, very squishy. A lost fight at this point easily costs you Cetera.
Thompson continues to push on the mid. They don't have CPs to get back to deal with Madara, who's still pushing on the base. Yeah. They know the TA is no longer there, though.
Do you think OG's committing to this mid push?
They do it pretty fast. Meanwhile, the TA, decent speed. Of course, you can't use that Phantom Strike to speed things up.
Fresh BKB from the TA here. Mage has a chance to get something done, I think.
But what can you do? The evasion, especially on Thompson as well, makes it pretty easy for him. Glyphs have been used. Tier 3 has already gone down the bot lane. OG need to speed this up. Crimson Guy slowing him down a little bit, but Thompson still hits pretty hard. And they have no creeps. This is a problem. Meanwhile, Madara will finally realize the gig is up. He can't hang around anymore, but OG not taking a favorable trade there in the end.
He's back to the shrine, trying to catch OG here on the disengage.
They'll find Thompson. There it is. Never Strike will lock him in place. He'll go for the gauge. Finally turn around. Omniside coming out. Doing this amount of damage. He has no refractions left. Can they finish him off? Guard is slow. No, he's going to go in business. He's going to stand on the spot. The Blade Fury. BKB about to run out. It's going to be close. They get him. And now on the back foot, no tail. He's the one that arrived with the dust. Madara's going to run him through. Moves across the Jarek. We'll get the crit straight away. The buyback out from TA before you even get involved in the fight. It's looking good, but now PA goes down. Thompson standing his ground. Maybe next time down to half HP. The crits are coming out as well. Disarm, blasted down, so close to death that Dagon will finish him off. And now they're back in your base because Thompson's still alive.
Disaster for VEGA there as the 10-second BKB charge for the TA does absolutely nothing.
And there's the buybacks. They need to throw everything.
Both TA and PA have had to buy back in the game.
They are so far behind in terms of gold. Look at the strike in. They're trying to go full this to Crepify though. The gauge. Dragon Thompson in. He is protected though. Throws out the snake. Madara trying to go in with the crit. The defusal doing a decent amount of damage to Thompson. He's forced to fight in the end. He has no escape plan. And they'll just leave him behind. They know he's gone. They do decent damage to the base still and forcing all those buybacks. OG, they're gonna be somewhat happy with that. They do have to give over the most valuable hero is the problem. A long time dead.
Yeah, I think it's fine though. Half damage on the melee racks, that will regen, but you got the tier 3 in the range racks mid. And I just feel like Vega needed it just feels like Vega need to do so much.
This might help though.
Take the initiative back in this game.
Finding Roche may be the first step on that path though. Can OG respond in time?
Yeah, they do it really fast.
No, they don't have.
OG are going to be in time.
They won't. They don't have a blink on the axe. He can't get in. There it is. Aegis gets claimed. It'll be on the Phantom Assassin this time.
Cheese on the TA.
Suddenly the Assassins coming together. Maybe able to break through OG the way this is playing out. Where do you go? Your focus has to be on single lane. There is the worry that OG is going to try and split push you again. Play VEGA at its own game that they've been so good at throughout these qualifiers. But for VEGA, it's very simple. Mid lane, push, take buildings.
Yeah, certainly with the Aegis advantage.
They don't want to show too heavily though. They should be able to get the tower. The catapult's going to be slowed down. That should be a deny on the tower. But that does open up your base more. So OG, with the Deucer up, the question is, are they going to sit back, wait for the Aegis to expire, or will they go out and try to make a play with the smoke?
And OG may think VEGA are a little bit farther behind them. That MKB coming out from PA, they have quite a bit of damage potential. They can go through the Medusa. We just saw how quickly the Medusa can die if she gets caught out of position.
Especially with a second MKB being built and almost complete on mage. The damage is actually quite large.
I am surprised that the Medusa hasn't accelerated just a little bit better through the mid game. And while that's been happening, you know, the Jug he's still farming.
He's trying.
He doesn't feel that dangerous. Second core.
This isn't the double butterfly scary man Juggernaut we've seen in previous games. He's going to try and get there with the MKB. He identifies that it's all about damage. In these type of fights, it's who can burst who down first, not who can out-sustain the other. Meanwhile, Bob.
No-Tail's going to get punished here.
He gets bursted pretty fast by Madara, even with the call. And that's going to be a free shrine for them. They could set up for a push on the bot lane here because Axe, well, he doesn't have buyback. Even if he did, he's got the blink now.
Thompson.
Yeah, but can you get in their base quick enough? We saw them try and make this trade before. It wasn't with a DD, but it didn't end well last time.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
That Pugna with this big Dagon right now. Dagon 5 at this point in the game. They can get an initiation onto the PRTA.
Not fine right now. Thompson by the wall. Grayson Illusion himself. They have retreated back to their base inside of OG to defend against this push. And it will just be wasted time because, of course, VEGA can get disengaged very easily with the surge. It'll be highlight eventually. You're going to get your hands on that AoE surge, which I think you definitely take in this type of game.
Yeah, that's a huge...
And of course, the other thing that people sometimes forget about the Darks is how he just scales based on how well you're doing his opponents. That is, you know, you got the Juggernaut, you got the Deucer. These illusions will do a lot of work in the fights.
Yeah, and both, you know, both going with, especially the Medusa, stat-based builds. So those illusions are going to get the full benefit of the items.
Definitely something to watch out for as this game goes on. So far, OG, they've done a decent job of making sure there's no giant gains, shall we say, for the side of VEGA off this Aegis. They haven't given up their base. And
it should be mentioned because we talked about the back
initiation.
Thompson bottom here. They initiated him with Thompson.
They're going to go in here. Gage does come out. The call's going to be there. Good lockdown now. The Omni slash Madara takes too much time. The vacuum is good, but it's too late. Everyone else do. The vacuum does not actually help because now PA is a little bit far deep. He's going to look for a target here. Goes in on the Seb. Will get the kill. They're chasing on the back foot though. Thompson out of half HP. Going to fight up with Mage. Mage doesn't do enough damage. No. Eat the cheese to the BKB. He needs some assistance here. Thompson just stands his ground. He runs down Mage. Maybe next time on the side is going to be found as well. And that comes out from the Axe, trying to get him on the fight. Madara, he's nowhere near this right now. And they're actually going to fight him for breaker. I don't think he understands how
I don't care if you have cheese, dude. That's a Medusa.
As you just saw it. The way that played out, the vacuum up to the high ground, Madara had to chase south.
Thompson was like, thank you very much. I'll be a siege turret. Man, oh man. That was an unfortunate fight for VEGA, to say the least. I'm not sure what Mage's plan was there.
Well, it might just seem like Seb died, but honestly, the way he ran down, it did force PA to choose. Do you go for the Deucer kill? Or do you go for the Pugna? And I'd wonder if it was miscommunication or if Madara was just saying it's impossible to kill that Deucer now, but he chose the easier kill.
Well, I mean, you certainly aren't killing the Medusa with one hero. That's the thing. You know, it's fine to commit onto the Medusa, but you better have both of your primary cores threatening her.
Absolutely, and as a result, the Deucer goes into your base. They're going to hit onto the second lane. Madara has been spending a lot of time bot. He won't be able to find anything there. Jug's going to finish off mid. Jarak's getting low. Wants to be a little bit careful here. On big crit, and he goes bye-bye. Lift has been used. Just trying to slow us down. Spirit Breaker up in 10, but 30 seconds so you have your TA, and she does not have buyback. They'll realize this on the side of OG.
They're going to get two attacks here fairly quickly. The attack speed on this Juggernaut coming out.
Absolutely, we'll get it, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a price to pay as OG. They clean up a second lane. They move outside the base. Now all they have to do is take control of that bot lane, start shoving in there next. What's the big turnaround for VEGA is the question. What's the big item that gets them able to take these fights, really?
I don't know. I think their big power spikes are largely already past in the... And Darkseer's progress is kind of arrested. I mean, he's not even to level 20 yet for that AoE surge.
It's definitely been stunted. And the PA, of course, has reached 25. That coup de grace talent is looking towards the Basha and the Abyssal next. I think the Basha was actually in the Courier, which got killed. So he's waiting for that to come up in 20 seconds.
No-Tail might die here to the smoke.
No-Tail, charging forward.
Links away.
They decide against chasing.
And they back off.
They can't commit. I mean, you look at the buyback stats.
Yeah.
The base is almost completely gone. and none of them have buyback right now.
Right. I mean, PA dies there, it costs you the game. That's discretion's the better part of Valor in that situation.
Let's get power spike.
It feels really bad with a lineup that's meant to be taking the map.
They could look to get aggressive now. They will probably look towards Smoke soon. They have got the Bash now, Madara, who's waiting for that courier to respawn. This might be the opportunity to try and make a play before Roche potentially comes up in 45 seconds. And they're not doing it. Like, I'm actually watching right now. They're trying to decide. They have got the smoke. And they're just trying to get control of the lanes with the traps and then make the move.
I think that's smart. And I think that one of the big things that you have to exploit now, Black Templar Assassin, is push potential.
Meanwhile, OG taking this opportunity to get rid of that shrine to make sure when they push for this base, there is going to be no backstab.
You know where Thompson is?
Maybe.
Spirit Breaker's
just trying to push it out.
They used the smoke for what?
Nothing. They thought that OG was going to come in the base, but these are TI winners. They're smart about this. They'll wait to see someone expose themselves, or they'll wait for Roche to show themselves. They've already got the courier waiting in the pit for that reason. Of course, the side of VEGA do see it as well, courtesy of the trap put down by the Phantom Assassin. TA rather, but it's much harder for them to get out and do something with this.
Yeah, this is good methodical play by OG. Rid of that vision. Do you have smoke on No-Tail and Jerax?
But once again, there's no pressure. They could just wait this Roche out. They just keep the lanes pushed in, and the pressure's on VEGA to then reveal themselves as they try to move out to counter it. There you go. OG already converged towards the pit. They know it's probably up soon. 10 seconds. Then Roche will make an appearance in his home. This is the move. This is the time VEGA need to get out. They need to actually go and counter this. They can't just sit around.
Phil. What's up? Likely the last hurrah here for VEGA, especially. Are they going to smoke and try and test this for?
The charge in. Surge is coming in. They'll even maybe next time. They need to go right now. It's down to half HP already. They decide against it though. The lift's going to be there. They thought maybe next time. Cool. They see him. Going to drag him about a bit as they finish off. Vacuum to drag Thompson and High Cat out. Trying to go in there. Chain Frost's going to be there. Forces the spin coming out from the Juggernaut. Will be able to move away. And Deuce to stand their ground.
Going up on the backside.
Yeah, maybe next time in trouble. In the backside, they go in. Madara gets one, gets two kills, supports it down. Buyback comes out from Jerax. Madara sneaking in like a thief in the night as he finds two quick pickoffs. He doesn't want to commit into this pit, though, because he knows the gaze is still available for the Deuce. No, the patch on the maybe next time means he can't initiate.
I still think they want to try and fight this while the wall is still up.
Kezu going in, back in the wall there, using it again against Thompson. Could force him away. He's getting low on mana. They're going to charge in as they want to go. The gate's going to be there. Lift as well. Forces Spirit Ray to look into her eyes. He's taking way too much damage as he will burn out and go down. He has buyback. He might want to commit right now. Madara going in, trying to get his hand on it. Gets the Aegis. Yes! And the gate's coming out. Juggernaut found as well is going to go down. Thompson standing his ground. Madara's going to get low. Goes down once. Mage trying to stand up against this, but Thompson hits so damn hard. TA will fall, and there'll be an escape plan for Madara as he can't stand up against this. Kezu left behind in the pit. No one to reinforce him, and gets zapped down by the power of Seb as he gets a triple kill.
I like what VEGA tried to do there, but...
Okay. Looks like Seb is seducing Madara. He brought him jewelry. As the gem is picked up by the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, Seb extending a little bit too much on the backside of that play.
Getting a little bit excited, feeling that they might be able to win this. They're going to move in now. Thompson low on mana, but he's got that Satanic now.
Here's the siege tank coming in your base.
They have got the Omni Slash as well. That's buyback, so they don't hesitate. Yeah. They want to try and make a move on this. Charge coming in on the Juggernaut right now. Here's we're getting location for the Surge. Going to be a little bit too late. Moving in right now. There we go. Straight on the Juggernaut. Can't lock him in place on the side. The gaze comes down to Rubik. They're trying to lock him down. Vacuum's down to 2. There's a zap to get Lich down to half HP. Jarrett should fall here. We're protected by the Decrepify. Madara down to half HP. They've already lost 3 heroes. As the Omni Slash just takes over the fight. PA goes down as well. And this is looking grim.
It's a little bit too much pulling in the backside of the fight. Trying to get the Rubik and the Medusa just unfettered.
That's right though, Alan. When you have a PA, anything is possible if you believe in the crits. Can he get him? Step down to half HP already. The throne is exposed. Gonna use a glyph to buy a little bit of time. Tops the zone him out. Back him into the wall. Connecting on the two here. Gaze does come out. Madara's gonna kite it out. Juggernaut trying to chase across. Realizes out of mana. He just has to go for the objective. But Thompson moves across. Stone gazed up. That's gonna be it. GG comes out. OG.
Nice.
They win 2-0.
I think Vega had the right idea with a couple of engagements. I like how they played that River Roche fight, kind of baiting them out with the Spirit Breaker charging in, baiting out the lift, stretching them out. The wall placement was pretty good, and they were able to fight on that for a long time. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is a top